like a British culture. I mean, it's an English culture and all the rest of it. It goes back well over 1,000 years. Many of the cultures and societies in many parts of Europe go back well over 1,000 years. French culture goes back over 1,000 years. Many of the cultures in Eastern Europe go back well over 1,000 years, sort of thing. So you have all these quite old and almost ancient cultures that have existed more or less intact for hundreds and hundreds to 1,000 or more years. Here is Canada, a baby, an infant almost, on the scene, only has existed for roughly a century and a half. You know, we are still getting our foot in the water, guys, of our collective importance in the world, we'll say. This experiment, if you want to call it an experiment, that we've entered into 156, 78 odd years ago, sort of thing, is still in too early a stage for us to think about scrapping it and wrecking it and destroying it at this stage in the game, sort of thing. So what I want every Canadian to think about tomorrow in particular, and over the next few days after Canada Day, because we don't have to just end it off on July the 1st and then completely forget about it after July the 1st and just go right back to our regular routines. Let's let it sink in our hearts and our minds and so on over the next several days and so on, that it's like, okay, we've just celebrated our 150 odd, whatever it is, or I think 58 anniversary, birthday. Who are we as a nation? Who are we as a people? What do we want to be as a nation and as a people? Where do we want to go? Like what direction do we want to take the nation in for the next 50 odd years or the next century or so? I mean, it's like, I'm not going to be around to see it, obviously, but I mean, I'm hoping that Canada is going to still be in existence for well into another century, and we're going to be able to better define ourselves, better explain what we're about, get a better sense of who we're about, sort of thing, have certain key core concepts of what it means, what it's about to be Canadian, and to celebrate that and to fight for that and to try to entrench that even more into the culture and the makeup of the nation as a whole. And so we all need to be having this like every nation needs to be having this conversation. France needs to be having this conversation. Britain needs to be having this conversation. The Scandinavian nations need to be having this conversation. United States needs to be having this conversation. We here in Canada need to be having this conversation of like, who are we as a culture? Who are we? What are we as a culture and as a society? What do we want to be? What direction do we want to go in? Like, we need to think about these things. We need to visualize these things in our minds. We need to be able to articulate these things verbally, sort of thing. So one definition for Canada as being the Canadian mosaic, I think, is still an excellent way to define Canada, to define Canadian multiculturalism. It's a mosaic. It's not a melting pot, it's a mosaic. But a mosaic, guys, if you understand the concept of a mosaic, is not any one particular culture or society dominating another. So if traditional Canadian culture that is founded out of like British, French, Scottish, Irish culture and so on, that must be shoved to one side a little bit more to accommodate these other cultures and societies that are moving in, well, at the very least, a mosaic says that all of those cultures and societies need to be reflected more or less equally, sort of thing. So I am putting out the word right now to every single non-Christian person and every single person from any other culture that isn't Muslim. All right, I'm saying, because you know what I'm talking about anyway, that isn't Muslim, and you want to be reflected in the Canadian story, the Canadian conversation, the ongoing Canadian vision. You have to speak up more. You have to say, well, I'm East Indian Canadian. I'm an Asian Canadian. Like, it's like, whatever it might be, not Muslim. Like all the other cultures and stuff. Because what is happening right now, guys, is that even you yourselves, you're being trampled over. You're being dominated. everything is about the Muslim religion and the Muslim culture and the Muslim belief system and the Muslims' right to do this and to do that and do something else, and they're pushing it in such a way that it's overpowering every single other solitary thing in the nation. And it's not just about them. It's very much not about them. They're just one small fragment of the overall mosaic. You understand what I'm trying to get across to you, sort of thing? So every Canadian needs to speak up and say, look, I'm not Muslim. I don't come from British culture or French culture or whatever, but I'm not Muslim either, you know, but I'm Canadian, and I want my culture, my religious belief system, you know, like reflected in the nation as well. You know, and you have the right to speak up and say that and be a more vocal part of the story and the visionary sort of thing. And this is a beautiful time, a key time to start thinking about this sort of stuff and reflecting on these sorts of things and thinking about what direction we want to take the nation in, sort of thing, you know. So we need you, okay, those of us, okay, I'm classifying myself as a Canadian patriot, okay, because what's evolving right now, what's starting to develop now, as a pushback to what's happening throughout the Western world, is that we have this patriot movement, okay, that is starting to organically develop throughout our nation, sort of thing, of people that want to preserve the best of what the nations have been about culturally, historically, for the past several hundred years. The types of things that laid the foundation for these cultures and society, we want to hold on to the best of that as the foundation to build, to continue to build the nations on. We have this other culture and this other society and this other religion that's moving in that wants to dismantle all of that, destroy all of that, and push their belief system and their culture. And none of us that are not a part of that should be for that, should be supporting that, should be happy with that, you know, because it means that all of you as well, along with us from Judeo-Christian backgrounds, all of you as well who are not Muslim are also going to be pushed out and taken over and dominated and controlled as well. So you should be no more happy about this than we are about this sort of thing, you know. So we should all come online here, we should all speak up, we should all start talking about what it means to be Canadian, what it means, like, okay, you could say it's multicultural and this, but when you say that, you got to understand what the whole concept of multiculturalism means. It doesn't mean any one particular culture or society dominating another, you know. So you have to look at what this culture is doing and say, well, this is not multiculturalism either. Well, I don't agree with this either. We can't just sit back and let this culture dominate and take over my culture or the historical cultures that exist in the nation that I moved to, sort of thing. We all need to be on the same side to try to fight that sort of thing, guys. So you can be an Asian Canadian, you can be East Indian Canadian, you can be, oh my, I wish I knew more nationalities, sort of. You can be an Eastern European Canadian or whatever, and still be a patriot of the nation by believing in certain core ideas and principles of what the nation is about, and fight with us to try to preserve those things. So I, for one, do not want to see Sharia law in this nation. I, for one, do not want to see women going around dressed like walking, living mummies, sort of thing. You know, I'm a feminist. I'm more of a feminist than women are feminists, sort of thing. You know, I don't want to see women going around in my nation, in my culture, forced to be dressed from head to toe like they're walking mummies, sort of thing. That is not women's liberation. That is not women's freedom. I don't want to see that in my nation, sort of thing. We have laws to protect our young people. I don't want those laws subverted. You know, it's we can't get away with doing certain things in this nation toward youth and so on. And we've got strong laws for like the better part of a century or so to protect our youth and so on. That we don't need any other culture or society to come in with a different belief system and all the rest of it to try to subvert that sort of thing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys? So these are things that every single solitary Canadian, no matter what cultural background you come from can get on board with us and say, look, we support you on this. We completely agree with you on this. Like this is going to destroy traditional Canadian culture and ethics and Judeo-Christian society and all the rest of it completely if we sit back and allow this to happen, sort of thing. So you need to be on our side. You came to Canada because you saw certain things in Canada that you appreciated, sort of thing. And if you still appreciate those things, you need to come on side with us, sort of thing, and work to try to fight against this other influence that's coming in now, that's trying to dismantle all of that sort of thing, you know. So, all right now, guys. I'll go, okay, I'm going to go for now 50 odd minutes in, so not quite an hour. So I can't do it, guys. There's no way humanly possible that I can make a video that's just a few minutes long, sort of thing. So I'll try to get this uploaded right now, and hopefully you can get to see it tomorrow. So this is it, guys. So this is in our Canadian national anthem, which we should be singing more often, sort of thing. The true north, strong and free. Okay, so that was written for a reason, sort of thing. There's a concept behind that sort of thing. So, like we're a northern nation. We're founded on certain traditional concepts and principles that come out of the Jewish religion, the Christian religion, the Judeo-Christian framework, sort of thing. Christianity is built on the foundation of Judaism. Judaism plays an integral part in the formation of our Christian culture, sort of thing, that cannot be ripped away. It can't be ripped away from the historical meaning of what our cultures and our societies are about. So we say Judeo-Christian societies for the whole of the Western world. So every single nation on this planet that considers itself a Western culture, a liberal culture, a democratic culture, sort of thing, also has traditionally classified itself as Judeo-Christian, because that was the foundation of all of those cultures and all of those societies, sort of thing. And so it goes without saying. So anybody that lives in a Christian culture, a Judeo-Christian culture, cannot be against the Jewish religion, cannot be against the Jewish people. They are an integral part of the historical makeup of our cultures and our societies. And this is what this other this other manifestation or whatever that has been pushed itself into the West is trying to brainwash us to think that shouldn't be so. We should be against Israel. We should be against Jewish people. We should be against the Jewish religion. But that doesn't work for us, because it's not a part of our society in general. Now, we can build upon that, though. We can build upon the Judeo-Christian, historical Judeo-Christian cultures that have existed in the West for the past 200, 300, 400 years or so, or longer, and add to it. Not supplant it, but add to it, sort of thing, you know. And so I'm just calling upon all Canadians now to reflect over today, tomorrow, over the next few days. You know, we've got the 4th of July coming just a few days after Canada Day. So really it can be a time for the whole of North America to reflect as to who we are, what we're about. Canadian society, American society, we're almost more or less the same sort of thing. We shouldn't be at each other's throats the way we are. We should be supporting one another a heck of a lot more than we are. All this terrorist shit that Canada's been put through recently, we shouldn't have to be going through. We shouldn't be at odds with one another, sort of thing. America should not be trying to push its way up in Canada. We do have a slightly distinctive way of doing things up there. We're proud of that way of doing things. Yes, we are a little more social and socialistic in our framework and our days of government and the way we implement things and all the rest of it. We're not ashamed of that, guys, and we're not going to be made to feel ashamed of that sort of thing, you know. We see a lot that's wrong in rampant, unchecked, unregulated capitalism as well, that produces, you know, poverty and disparity and all the rest of it. Don't let these things divide us so much that we're going to weaken ourselves so much that this other influence can come in and more easily take us over. So that's the biggest threat. So we got to get past these stupid, superficial dividing lines that we've been functioning within for the past, you know, few hundred years and all the rest of it, and realize that beyond that we have much more in common than we have indifferences sort of thing. So America and Canada should be working together to push this other influence out of North America, to make North America strong and stable and democratic and free and safe for every single solitary person that comes here. And we don't want a Muslim ideology. We don't want a Muslim belief systems. We don't want Sharia law. We don't want anything connected with that dominating our cultures. We don't want it any more here in Canada than they want it in the United States. They don't want it in Britain. No thinking person wants it in any part of Europe, sort of thing. And we need to start rising up and moving against it, sort of thing, and fighting against it, sort of thing. You know. So this is things now we need to be reflecting on. I'm making this conversation, I'm having this conversation now, guys, in the middle of the day. This is like doing it here, doing this early in the day, because there's all kinds of stuff going on around me now. I don't know who can overhear me, but at the same time, guys, I got nothing to be ashamed of either, sort of thing. You know, I got nothing to feel bad about, you know. It's an important conversation, stuff that we need to be talking about, stuff we need to be thinking about, and it's normal for me to express it than anyone else to be expressing it, sort of thing. So, okay, 50 minutes, 58 seconds in. I'm going to cool it up here now, guys. I'm going to get on with things there now. I'm going to see if I can get a few decorations up there now. I'm going to get out there now shortly, get a few things at the store and so on there. And I won't be able to take part of anything going on around town here today, guys, because we'll have the money for it and all the rest of it. But we'll do my level best now tomorrow to have an enjoyable day tomorrow. I'll get a few more videos in tomorrow. And happy pre-Canada Day, guys. What can I say? Some of our me say that. Canada Day. It's almost like a tongue twister. Happy pre-Canada Day. Happy Canada Day tomorrow, guys. And like I said, watch this video, guys, and take in the information that I'm saying, contemplate it, mull it over in your mind, sort of stuff. It's important things. I mean, it's like, I don't know how to get my freaking videos out there. I'm getting me pissed off, and I'm not lying to you. I'm getting me pissed off over the lack of interest in my videos and all this sort of thing. But this is important stuff. I don't see anybody else talking about quite the way I'm talking about it, sort of thing. It's an important message, guys. So, like, view it, share it, and let my videos start getting a bit more traction there. So on and so forth, okay? Like, I need it because to build my channel and all the rest of it, but we also need it also to get this message out more, because I know there's millions of Canadians that think along similar lines that I'm thinking, sort of thing, and you're not speaking up enough, and it's getting too late in the game now for us to be so solid and so complacent, sort of, you know. I see it online all the time, guys. We need to do something about this. We need to do something about this. We can't let this go anywhere. You know, and we've been talking about this now for the past 2 bloody years or more, and just keep talking about it, and we don't actually do anything. Stop talking and start doing. Okay? It's high time to stop talking and just start doing now. Okay? On that note, cool off there, guys, and we'll take care. God bless. Love you. Happy Canada Day. And long live, God keep the true North, strong, proud, and free.